What's up, guys? So if you saw the title of this video, I did get second at a League Cup, which means that I am done with League Cups. I have two finals, which means I'm not going to play anymore. But what does that mean? Why did I play Arc, Umbreon, Duraludon? This deck was Nathan Stratford's, who top 8'd Portland Regionals with it, and I was like, oh, this deck looks really cool. So Thursday night, I was just building some decks, prepping to have some stuff built for testing, whatever. I already have Gardevoir and Mew built, and I think like Lost Boxes all in a pile together, so I can just throw them in sleeves. Like I know I have most of Lost Box in one spot, and I was like, two decks that I haven't really explored this format that I think could be really cool are Arc Duraludon Umbreon, or like this version, like Arc Duraludon has been performing very well after Alex won, and then this list top 8'd, and Arc Tina obviously winning means that there's going to be people who try to counter that. And I was like, I'm gonna build it, see how I feel about it. And then I built Maridon, the same list I got top 8, because I wanted to try these decks, and I'm an in-paper person testing guy as opposed to a PTCG Live guy, so it made more sense for me to just like build these decks in solitaire with them. So I'm just solitairing with these two decks for the last couple days. I get to my League Cup on Saturday. So fun fact before we get there, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of story time. Actually, first I should probably talk about the deck. Arc Duraludon Umbreon, very cool concept. Duraludon deals with Lugia. Duraludon deals with a lot of things like Goodra in the format. Duraludon's very, very strong. Umbreon deals with Gardevoir, acts as a gust effect, has a pretty good attack at 160, which hits a lot of things for good numbers. 2 shots. Umbreon V, very good into things like Lost Box. You can actually use Moonlight Blade for damage. And then cards like Volo are very, very good in the mid to late games because you can discard something that's very damaged, like a Duraludon VMAX or an Umbreon V on your bench. Or VMAX are on your bench that's just sitting there, frees up the damage. 3 Adventurers Discovery, something that's very, very like slow moving, I guess, is the best way to put it. But it gets the job done because you can find all your pieces at every point in the time, like a point in the game. So helps out a lot. 3 Lost City is very strong because you can Lost City things like Sables are cards, etc. The Alakazam plus Hawlucha combo is if they Dragonite once, you can start moving damage around and basically hopefully knock something out with that and take a free prize somewhere. I never had that come up, but it could happen. It's an interesting idea from Nathan. I don't know what else I would have played in that slot. I can't think of a better Radiant, but then we have the energy count, which makes a lot of sense. I think single strike energies were also played in some lists this weekend. Maybe that could have been a little bit better. They're harder to find, obviously, because you can't RCS them out of your deck. But yeah, very simple list. Everything makes sense. Karen's Conviction for one-shots. Math checks out. Let's jump into it. Story time. If you guys wanted to listen, got it, like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Peace out. But now we're going to go into a story time about the League Cup and my League Cup itself. So I'm headed to this League Cup. It's about an hour-ish drive away, and it registers from 11 to 12. So I told my buddy Harris, who wants to come with me, to show up at my house like 9:45. I kind of goofed and like laid in bed until like 9:15, 9:20, because I was like really not feeling it. Like if it was just me and I wasn't driving someone else, I probably would have skipped. And so I got up, hopped in the shower real quick. I'm out by like 9:35. I see a message from Harris that just says outside, and so I sprint, grab my bag, grab an energy drink. Celsius is my energy drink of choice. I run to the car, I jump in, and we're on our merry way. It's like 9:40. We're on the road, should be about an hour. GPS is showing we get there at 11:50 or like 11:10. And I'm like, oh no. All right, that's a lot of traffic. So we're making our way. I'm still not super worried. We get there at like 11:05, I think. We're just talking a lot of like construction-related traffic because it's the weekend, so I guess highways need construction. I don't really understand. They're expanding I-95 a little bit near us, so we end up getting to Fredericksburg, and there's like a bunch of people outside the store. And Harris is like, this is a small store. I told you we should have hurried. And so we sprint inside. And turns out there was like the store was doing like a yard sale, garage sale type of thing. It's like an old video game store as well, like retro video game systems, all that stuff, Funko Pops. So they were just doing like a flash sale to get rid of a bunch of like, I guess, excess inventory and make some cash for the weekend, which was a big hit. There was a lot of people buying like old games like Just Dance 1 and like GTA 1 and Cooking Mama, the cook-off, stuff like that. Like I saw a lot of fun titles. So we then enter the premises, and as Harris and I are walking to the door, all we hear is, players, we've reached our cap. Everyone that's left will be placed on a wait list. And I'm like, oh no, that's not good. We just drove all this way for this. And we go up to the wait list. Harrison asked to be put on it. We're 3 and 4, respectively, or so I think. Spoiler alert. We were not. And so all this happens, and then people now are like, tournament's going, tournament's going, tournament's going. Or people are registering, people are checking in. A couple, like, a lot of people, like, it was crazy. There was like 30 something people already there, like, at the start of the kicker, which is like ridiculous to me. And I guess that should just mean I have to go earlier sometimes. And there's very few cups, so the demand is very high right now for people who need their invites. And so then I end up talking to Jacob a little bit more, the guy, the TO who was running the cup. And I was like, hey, Jacob, hey, Barry, like, there's space for one more table over here, one more table over here. Like, and their logic was that, like, people are still coming into the store. People are going to try to buy stuff. We shouldn't have something that's in, like, not a walkway, but, like, near a lot of merchandise. And I said, like, think about it this way. Juniors and seniors have enough for their own pod, so they'll be able to pull. So they, at, like, 11:50, put up another table and said only 4 more people could play. So I'm like, that's fine. I'm in. There's, like, only 12 people on the wait list. Because I guess a lot of people, after they found out there was 12, started leaving and going home after they came. And it turns out that's not the case. It was like 2 siblings and a mom that were written together at the top of the wait list, and then the guy next to me. So the 2 siblings and the mom got in. The guy in front of me got in, and then the mom comes over and says, hey, I'm not here to actually play. I'm just here to support my kids. So you can have my spot, basically. And I'm the spot. So I get in. Harris ends up getting in too. So I'm in the cup. I'm playing the cup now, and I'm like, it's like noon. I'm like feverishly sprinting right out my list. I'm looking for my ride-on cards because I'm missing like 3 or 4, which I didn't have the foresight to ask around. I was pretty dejected after I didn't get in, so I'm over here like being all depresso. But I end up playing Arc Dura. I just lock it in. I say, screw it. Like there's no better for me. Like I don't have another deck. I only brought those 2 with me. I don't know why. Mew I think was in the car, but that's it. Lock it in, load it. Round 1, I hit Lost Box. He goes Tropius, Grass, like turn 1. And I'm like, oh, cool. And so I just Umbreon it up, and I Lost City and knock it out. And then he goes Galarian Zapdos V, knock out my Arceus, and I was like, wait, what? Like, there's so many energy types in this deck. There was a Fighting, there was a Grass, there was Water, Psychic, Lightning, and then I just Duralud on it back with a lot. The Lost City does not get bumped, so I Duralud on it, and then he hits me with Cram, I Duralud on that. He hits me again with something, like Sableye maybe, I Duralud on that, and like Judge. And so basically, I'm just so far up on the price rate, and all his attackers are now sitting in the loss zone, so he does not have a way to close out the game. So I win the first round. Second round, I go up against Sablezard. I don't get Arc Energy on turn 1. I have to Adventurer's Discovery for it turn 2, but I don't get a Trinity Charge off. So turn 3 is the first turn I get to actually attack, which is Trinity Nova. And I went second. And so the Sablezard player at this turn has already begun Sableing my board. So it gets really, really dicey. I'm like 1 turn behind. He slams the Zard, but I prize my last city. I used all 3 cities in some process of researching or whatever. And all 3 of his Sableyes and Crams are gone. So I knew when we were both at like 2 prizes at this point, if I knock out his Zard, he has no attackers left. But I was out of cities, so I could not knock out the Zard. I did not have a Judge in hand. And so I knocked out the Zard. Somehow I got down to 1 prize. I think he missed a beat somewhere, or he was just doing some weird Sableye stuff. And I just kind of resigned myself to my fate, where I was like, he's got like 1 Clara in the Lost Zone, and that's it. He probably has a second Clara somewhere in hand. I think the deck plays 3 typically, so he got the Clara, and I just lost the game. Round 3, I go up against Mew. I went second. I had Halusha in the active, and then Arc Energy pass, and I was like, oh no, dude, this is bad. Like I judged into like V-Star Stadium, DTE, Adventurers were my 4 cards, and I was like, oh, no. And so he does his whole turn, ends up getting the tablets and everything. He drops like 3 tablets and a choice belt in the process to dig, to try to find the boss and just win the game. Because I think if he finds the boss, he wins the game. But because he had used 3 tablets and the choice belt, I was actually going to play it out with the Adventures, because if I can establish even 1 Arceus, I could actually legitimately win the game. Into a Duraludon or something. And he'd like burn like 2 paths in this process as well. He whiffs the knockout, and then I basically just set up and I steamroll from there, because at that point he can't one-shot anything remaining in the game, and I can just set up Umbreons and Duraludons and just go from there. Round 4 I played against this is the weirdest deck I think I've ever played against at 2-1, but that's a League Cup for you. Reggie Drago V-Star, Kling Klang. And I'm pretty sure Kling Klang says look at the top 6 and put energy on your board. I basically went first, set up, I like knocked out. No, I knocked out something. No, I missed Arc Energy turn 1. So turn 2 I had to go Trinity Nova, Trinity Charge on my board. And then turn 3, I went Boss Killed with a Duraludon on one of his Reggie Dragos. And then turn 4, I went Umbreon, bring up another Drago and hit it. And he goes V-Star and actually dumps 4 dragons, like Flygon, Dragonite, Giratina, Duraludon, and like hits a Candy. And I'm like, dude, there's no way. He hits a Candy Judge off the V-Star power. I'm like, what a ridiculous 7 cards. If he had an Ultra Ball, he could have gone into Kling Klang. And then he just judges himself into like complete nothingness, and I just Duraludon for the rest of the game. So I win. Round 5, I go up against Kyurem VMAX, the 30 energy water deck. I go first. I get Arc Energy. Jacob has like the most insane start. Gets eared, opens Kyurem, goes Irida via PPS. Greninja gets all 3 on board. Passes over to me after he attaches. I go, do my turn, hit into the active. Oh no, I open Umbreon, so I just set up my board. I can't go into a Trinity Nova this turn, actually. I actually whiffed energy, Arc Energy, that's right. Dude, I just didn't hit Arc Energy like ever with this tournament. That's ridiculous. And then he knocks out my Umbreon. He gets Discovery in his own hand. He gets triple Kyurem that turn. Knocks out my Umbreon. I come up. I hit Kyurem for 180 and power up my board. He switches into a different, or retreats into a different Kyurem, and then powers it up and one-shots my Arceus with like Melanie and all that stuff, and he has a Seal Stone in play. I then go into Duraludon, 220. No. I go to Duraludon. I have Karen's and Choice Belt in hand. I use Karen's and Choice Belt, take the one-shot on the active, take 3 prizes, but I know I can't replicate that, so I know my win con is Boss, and then he goes Seal Stone, Cheryl, and I was like, dude, I don't even know what's in this deck. And then he goes, hits the 2 off the Glaciated World and the attach, and then he goes 120 active, and then I go Rope, Boss, the other Kyurem, hit it with Arc V-Star for 180, and my thought process is he needs to have double Glaciated World, attach Melanie with like a 3-card hand to knock me out here, or a switching card, and you already use 1 switch, 1 rope. And then he goes first Glaciated World hit, second one whiff, attach from hand, pass, and then I just knocked him out. So, super close game. Really unlucky for me to even be in that position, I think, but 4-1. Round 8, I hit lock. We just decided ID in. I think that's Tina. I want to say Arc Tina. So we just ID in. And then I'm in top 8. Come back, top 8 starts. I hit the same Sables I hit in round 2. Both games come down to him. Basically, he whiffs a beat. I'm not really, like, because I go second both games, I have to kind of play catch up in the matchup. But both games, I just kind of like go Arc, Duraludon, V Max, and 1 Umbreon V, and I just keep using Moonlight Blade to like knock out a lot of stuff, like Sableye specifically. And it gets kind of dicey in both games 1 and 2 because I can't find the Lost City to like Lost Zone any of his attackers. I think game 2 I got it for a singular Sableye after he Lost Zoned one off of a Comfy. And I'm sitting there going like, dude, like, the turn he puts Zard down, that's all that matters. Like, the turn he puts Zard down, I can usually just, like, if I Lost Zone that, the game ends. And I couldn't find it either time. But it didn't really matter because I was always, like, 1 turn ahead based on me not missing tempo. So he never was in a position to just win the game outright. So I ended up winning the set against Sablezard. I don't think the matchup is necessarily great still, but I think Arc decks have a good matchup into Lost Box if they don't play Choice Belts or Defiant Bands, just because you can put the pressure on. You know that they have to use Sableye to add damage to your board, to even one-shot your things, and if I just didn't evolve give him 2 VMAXs, I never lose that trade. Top 4, I go up against Nick Franco, who's playing Arctina. Game 1, he goes first. He gets the Arc Energy attached on bench, researches, and then passes on turn 2. And I was like, whoa. And then this is the first game I got Arc Energy. And then I go boom, boom, boss up the Arc, hit the Arc, or Umbreon up the arc, hit the arc. No, I brought up Tina, hit Tina, power up my board. He goes retreat, hits into me. I go hit into him, set up my board. He goes kill. I go bring up my arc. Boss his Tina, take the 2 prizes on Tina, because Tina's not powered up with arc. He goes bring up arc, hit into my arc, into my Duraludon, sorry, and then I go with a new arc, and I go hit into Duraludon, or arc with my Duraludon, Volo the same turn, get rid of my Luminion, so now my board is arc Duraludon, and that's it, and Duraludon's damaged. He kills Duraludon, goes to 1 prize, I only have arc left, both his arcs are heavily damaged, so I just win the prize trade, because I go attack, and I win. And so that's exactly what I did. He had no more resources to set up anything new, and I win that trade in that long run. And then game 2, he opens Bidoof, gets arc, attaches. I bring it up, I smack into it on my turn. 2, and then he basically just like bricked off Judge, and he just like pass. He like Trinity charged, I think, after I brought it up. And then he conceded because he's like, that's my only RCS. I'd lose the game anyway. You're going to kill Bidoof. Like, from here on, it's like over. Because like, I had a Duraludon powered up. I had an Umbreon ready to go on the bench to Umbreon VMAX, something. I had options, basically. And then finals hit Nick Franco, who's playing Sable Zard as well. Or Chris Franco, sorry. And Chris needs to win at the League Cup to put himself in a position where he needs top 256 at Hartford to secure his invite. He goes up to 326 points, I believe. And I'm a firm believer that, like, as long as it doesn't negatively impact me, I want to help out friends in the local scene, because you want to help your locals grow. I want to see as many of my locals at Worlds as possible, or qualify for Worlds as possible. It's, like, a nice feeling because, like, all season long, we're kind of, like, fighting together or, like, against each other, like a healthy rivalry. And I also have a long drive home. It's, like, an hour and some change, again, because traffic, and it's raining now. So I conceded Chris, pack up my stuff, head out, you know. I don't need a League Cup win here. I put myself at 1,052. I should be pretty soft locked for top 16. Yeah, I think I'm pretty soft locked for top 16 at this point. We can go check together. I think I'm in 4th. So, and if you guys don't know what top 16 is or anything like that, I can do a video explaining all of that. Like, I'm in 4th now, very comfortably. So I think I'm pretty happy with my standing in the overall scheme of things. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I did get second in a League Cup. I'm done with League Cups for the season. You will see me probably I have one more League Challenge open, so I might play a League Challenge at some point down the line. But I have Hartford, Milwaukee, and NAIC remaining for the season. And besides that, no more Pokemon till Worlds for me. So those 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be trying to do more fun content stuff. Let me know in the comments. Join the Discord. We have a wonderful community. And I appreciate everyone who has been participating in the community. So thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you.